Cutter from Rocking for Rhinos is joining me on Skype. He's going to tell us what we can expect from the festival's third annual event. Gareth, thank you so much for joining us. Now, 3 years in a row, that is a huge feat. What kind of feedback have you been getting from the festival?
It's been a bit of a slow process. The first year we set up our festival in 2012, we had I think it was about 600 people join the festival, and about 300 of those 600 people were actually crew members and band members. So of that 600, we only had about 300 people come and pay for tickets. So, it was a bit slow the first year. Second year, we've had about, I think it was 1,200 to 1,400 people join the event. So definitely it kind of doubled, after the first year. So we're kind of expecting that same sort of growth in the third year. But we've also had a lot more sort of media coverage. So we're kind of not too sure of how many people are going to attend this year's festival, but it seems pretty good. We are getting a lot of guys saying they're coming over from France, from Germany. So it's not just South Africans that are actually attending the festival, but lots of international guys as well.
Wow, that's amazing that you have people coming from overseas to go to your festival. What was the inspiration behind this festival when you started 3 years ago?
I think it was 2011 when the rhino poaching numbers started climbing. And I was actually living up in Johannesburg at the time, and I had an idea of possibly doing a walk from Cape Town to Kenya to raise funds for rhino poaching. But it just seemed a bit crazy to raise a lot of money, do a big hype at the beginning of the walk, and then at the end of the walk, maybe 11 months later, it's kind of like you don't really have much of an audience, and you also don't have a captive audience. So we decided to do something where we could actually get a group of people together. So you've got this massive group where you're creating awareness, but at the same stage gathering funds from them. And the best way to do that was to do like a concert type thing, involve musicians that can actually spread the message of rhino conservation better than we can. Music's quite a powerful tool for conveying messages like that. So that was the main reason behind the concept.
How much of the funds that you actually raise during the festival go to helping rhino poaching?
Yeah, basically all of the funds, we don't even pay crew members from the funds that we raise at the festival. So if we make 500,000 on ticket sale profits, we basically give 500,000 away. It doesn't do much for our own organization, but that's why we're doing what we do. We want to support the guys on the ground as much as possible. So if we can clear 500,000 after all festival infrastructure costs, then we will donate all of that money to our 4 beneficiaries that we have at the moment. So we don't keep any money for ourselves from ticket sales.
Can you tell us about some of the beneficiaries you work with?
Our main beneficiary is ProTrack Anti-Poaching. They've got a rhino task team. It's a 24/7 vehicle that patrols the area in Hoedspruit and surrounds. And they basically the guys on the ground that are protecting rhino on a daily basis. So they are our main beneficiary, and so we'll give them the majority of the funds that we raise from this festival. Another one of our beneficiaries is the Baluli Rhino Conservation Project. Baluli is a reserve that is part of the Greater Kruger National Park, and because there's a lot of poachers roaming between the two reserves, they're getting hit quite heavily as well. So what Rocking for Rhinos is trying to do is to create a stronghold on a reserve where poachers can't get in or out, and so that the rhino are protected in that specific area. And from there, as we grow, as the organization grows, we can start moving out into larger areas, protecting larger areas. So that's the second of our beneficiaries. We have another beneficiary, Chris Daniels. He has an educational book called Bongi's Quest. And this is aimed at, it's a little story about a rhino whose uncle gets poached. And so he's basically aiming at educating the youth in Africa, as well as he's actually getting into Vietnam schools as well, or Vietnamese schools at the moment. So he's trying to get the educational awareness thing out there. And then obviously with all the poaching crisis that's happening in the country, you get a lot of orphan baby rhinos that can't fend for themselves. So the Tula Tula Rhino Rehabilitation Center down in KwaZulu-Natal, that's our 4th beneficiary that we just got on board this year. So it's the first year that we're actually going to be supporting them. So we're basically aiming at, we're looking at protection of rhinos, we're looking at protection of reserves, and then also education and awareness is another major thing, and then obviously looking after orphan rhinos. That's the other area of our beneficiaries.
Wow, those are 4 great beneficiaries. Now, what can we expect from this year's festival?
Our festival, a lot of people ask us, what kind of festival is it? It's pretty much, it's kind of like a Woodstock type vibe. except all the people that go to our festival, all the bands that play there, majority of them perform for free. That way we can put more of our ticket sale profits to rhino conservation. So the vibe of the festival, it's not everyone just partying, getting wasted, going crazy. There's a lot of sort of very conscious individuals that go to our festival, which makes it kind of like a pretty hippie environment, which is awesome. Everyone's there for love and peace of conservation. So it's a very cool environment.
Other than the bands that are going to be there, what can people expect? Will there be conservationists on site as well?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to, what Rocking for Rhinos is trying to do, we'd like to, we don't want to stand alone as an organization and say, look at Rocking for Rhinos, look at what we've done. We'd like to embrace other organizations that are in it for the cause, and sort of, because we need to stand together. It's such a massive fight that is going on, and if we all do little separate things, it doesn't really help. So we'd like to get other organizations like OSCAP and, whichever other organizations in the area that would like to join us at our festival. So people that we want to give guys a chance to choose which organization to follow. We don't want to be like Rocking for Rhinos is king and you have to follow us. We want to say to guys, okay, this is what Rocking for Rhinos is doing. That's what OSCAP is doing. That's what ProTrack is doing. And people can choose where they want their money to go to. Our ticket sale profit or our ticket sales that guys purchase, that profit will then go to our organization to be distributed amongst beneficiaries. But once at the festival, they can still choose throughout other different conservation initiatives in the area as well.
All right, well, Rocking for Rhinos is happening this weekend. How can people looking for more information get that information online?
Okay, we are on Facebook. If guys just look for Rocking and then FOR Rhinos, Rocking for Rhinos. We do have a few events running on Facebook. Our Facebook page is also Rocking for Rhinos. Then if they go onto our website, www.rockingforrhinos.org, they'll be able to find all the information about our beneficiaries. They'll be able to buy tickets through CompuTicket as well.